Assalamualaikum everyone. This is me, Fatima. I'm Business Wali. I'm a student of Education Training Institute Batch 22. So today I'm going to discuss a very important topic with ChatGPT. The topic is how to identify and avoid toxic positivity. So let's start the conversation. Hello ChatGPT.
Hey, great to hear from you. What's on your mind today?
So today I want to learn about the topic, discuss how to identify and avoid toxic positivity.
Yeah, that's a really important topic. So, toxic positivity is basically when people push a good vibes only attitude and dismiss real complex emotions. We can talk about what it looks like, how it can be harmful, and what healthier responses sound like. Would that work for you?
Okay, so first of all, tell me what is toxic positivity and how does it affect mental health?
Yeah, absolutely. So, toxic positivity is when people basically insist on always being positive and they shut down or dismiss any negative feelings. So, if you're feeling sad or angry and people just say things like, just stay positive, it can make you feel really invalidated or isolated. Over time, that can lead to feeling misunderstood or even like you can't express yourself, which definitely impacts your mental health, like stress, anxiety, or feeling alone.
Okay, how can someone recognize toxic positivity in daily conversation?
Yeah, great question. So you can recognize it when people avoid talking about real tough feelings. Like if someone says, don't worry, everything happens for a reason, right after you've shared a struggle. Or if they just keep saying, look on the bright side, without really letting you sit with your emotions. So basically, it's when any tough emotion is just shut down or replaced with forced positivity.
Okay, so why is it important to accept negative emotions instead of hiding them?
Yeah, that's a super key point. I mean, negative emotions are actually really important signals. They help us understand what we need, what we value, and what might be off in our lives. If we don't accept them, we might just bottle stuff up, and that can lead to more stress, burnout, or even just feeling disconnected from ourselves.
Okay,
So, really, accepting them is a way of being honest and kind to yourself.
what are some common phrases that reflect toxic positivity?
Yeah, for sure. So common phrases might be things like just stay positive or everything happens for a reason or even good vibes only. Sometimes people say it could be worse or just look on the bright side. They sound well meaning, but if they shut down deeper feelings, that's where the problem lies.
How can toxic positivity damage relationship?
Yeah, it can really hurt relationships because if one person is always pushing for cheer up or just be grateful, the other person might stop sharing their real emotions. It can create this distance, like you don't really understand me. And without that open, safe space, trust and closeness just kind of fade.
What is the difference between optimism and toxic positivity?
Ah, that's a great distinction. So, optimism is a healthy mindset where you acknowledge challenges but still believe things can get better. Toxic positivity, on the other hand, is just about denying any negativity at all, even when it's real and needs to be acknowledged. So, optimism leaves space for both feelings, while toxic positivity kind of shuts them down.
How can social media encourage toxic positivity?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, social media is full of these super filtered highlight reel moments, everyone just showing their best selves. And that can create this pressure to always be happy or successful. When people share posts like stay strong or good vibes only, it might discourage real conversations about struggle. So it can really fuel that cycle of toxic positivity.
Why do some people avoid talking about painful emotions?
Yeah, a lot of times it's because they're afraid of being a burden or they don't want to seem ungrateful, especially if others around them are struggling too. Sometimes it's just not knowing how to express the feelings or worrying people won't understand. But avoiding it kind of keeps them stuck.
How can support someone without dismissing their feelings?
Yeah, a big part of it is creating a safe space. So that might mean being a good listener without rushing to fix things. You can ask gentle, open ended questions like, how are you really feeling? or just validate their emotions, like, it's okay to feel this way. And reminding them that their feelings are real and valid is really powerful.
Okay, so my next question is this: what are healthy ways to respond to sadness or stress?
Yeah, great question. So, a healthy response might be to acknowledge the sadness first, like, I'm feeling really down right now, and that's okay. You can also talk to someone you trust, practice self care, like journaling, going for a walk, or doing something creative, and just give yourself permission to feel without judgment.
How can toxic positivity affect self esteem?
Yeah, it can really mess with self esteem because if you feel like you're not allowed to have negative emotions, you might start to think something's wrong with you. You might judge yourself for struggling or feel like you're failing if you can't just be happy. So it kind of disconnects you from self acceptance and growth.
Why is emotional honesty important for mental well being?
Oh, absolutely. Emotional honesty is huge because it lets you really connect with yourself and others. When you're honest about what you're feeling, you build trust, you get support, and you give yourself the chance to process and heal. So it's really a foundation for good mental health.
How can parents avoid teaching toxic positivity to children?
Yeah, definitely. Kids need to know that it's okay to feel a whole range of emotions sad, angry, disappointed without feeling like they have to hide it. So we want to encourage them to talk openly, express their feelings, and know that all emotions are valid.
How can listening carefully help reduce toxic positivity?
Yeah, for sure. So reducing it really starts with awareness, catching yourself when you're brushing off negative feelings. Then it's about allowing space for those emotions, practicing empathy, and using more balanced language. Like, this is really hard, and I'm here for you. It's all about being real and compassionate, both with yourself and others.
Why is saying it's okay to not be okay important?
Oh, it's really important. It normalizes the fact that we all have ups and downs, and it gives people permission to be human. When we say it's okay to not be okay, we let ourselves and others know they don't have to hide their struggle. And that's really freeing.
How can toxic positivity make people feel isolated?
Yeah, exactly. When people feel like they can't talk about their struggles, they might think they're the only ones going through it. So even if it's well meaning, toxic positivity can make them feel really alone, like no one truly gets it. And that isolation just deepens the pain.
What role does empathy play in emotional support?
Oh, absolutely. Empathy is really the foundation of good support. When you can genuinely listen, validate what someone's feeling, and just be present with them, instead of pushing for quick fix, you help them feel seen and less alone.
How can workplace avoid creating a toxic positive environment?
Yeah, that's a great point. So, workplaces can avoid it by encouraging open conversations about challenges, not just success. Leaders can model vulnerability, like sharing when they're struggling, and they can make sure that people feel safe expressing a range of emotions.
Why is unhealthy to force happiness all the time?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, happiness is a great emotion, but it's just one part of the human experience. If we always force it, we ignore grief, stress, or disappointment, and those get pushed down, which is what leads to toxic positivity. So, balance is really key.
How can journaling help people process real emotions?
Yeah, journaling is awesome for this. It gives you a private space to just let your feelings flow without judgment. When you write things down, you slow down and really get to know what you're feeling. And that awareness can help you process things, release some of the weight, and find clarity.
Okay, so my last question: what lessons can we learn from accepting both positive and negative emotions?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, when we accept both, we really get to know ourselves better. We learn resilience, we build deeper connections, and we realize that both types of emotions teach us something. So, the negative ones can guide us toward change, and the positive ones can give us hope and motivation.
Okay, thank you, ChatGPT, for a great conversation.
You're so welcome. I really enjoyed talking about this with you. If you ever want to dive into another topic or just need to chat, I'm here. Take care.
Bye. So That's all about the conversation. I hope you learned something new in this conversation. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me. Allah Hafiz.